back by public demand, it's me, Nico's father, doing another culinary delight. Hang on, my tash is coming off. Lasagna, Yorkshire style. Right, so what we're going to start by is we've got our Aberdeen Angus mince, quality. I can't see because I've got sunglasses on, so I might have to take these off. Not quite the same, but it's the same. Right. So I've got my Aberdeen Angus mince. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a proper size frying pan. Oops. That's Louise. Shout out to Louise. As she told me off last time, Christ me tash, because I didn't use a certain size saucepan. Well, this is a bigger one, as you can see. I'll just turn you around there slightly. So, right, we are going to put a slight bit of olive oil into the frying pan, even though we know that you're going to get a lot of juices from the mince. But I like to put a little bit in there just to help it. So, bang that in there. Done. We're already frying pan done. And then we're going to nicely put into our mince. At this rate, the mince is going to have a blooming tash in it, but anyways, that's not going to be very tasty. But anyway, right, so we've got our mince. We're going to plough that in there. Bosh. We're going to get our second one because we're greedy in this house. Second one, put into, and then bosh. Make sure there's no plaggy. Done. And then chuck that over there. Right, so let's get rid of the tash, it's doing me a bit. Right, mince is on. I got told off by a few people that I used diced onion before, so I've got to do my own this time. Alright, we're going to get the onion. I think we're going to have a couple of onions in this, so for that added taste. So we're going to place this over there. Shout out to Jess, who complained at me last time because I'm working straight off my worktop. Oh, sorry, I do that. But yeah, I do it off a worktop instead of a chopping board because I can't be bothered. Plus I'm a joiner, so I can just replace it. So, first things first, let's get into the onion. No, I'm not French, I just know a bit of French. So, the onion, I'm going to cut into the onion to get rid of some of the skin. Right, so that bit's done. Voila. And then for my French audience, je m'appelle Richard. Right, so that's that bit done. Mince is nicely starting. So let's separate a bit of that. Ooh, Aberdeen Angus, you can't beat a bit of Aberdeen Angus. Nicely coming to boil, ready even to fry, I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, that started nicely. Get rid of onion. Done. Because we're going to have 2 onions in this. I'll just put that. Put that. That. So yeah, onion started. Get that cut. Because you can't beat onion. Right, on my last one, for those that bothered to watch it, there was a slight use of garlic and soya sauce. So, people were thinking, right, well, you know, how much is he putting in that? Well, yeah, I might have gone a bit airlow with that. I might have put a little bit too much in on that, but, you know, it can't go wrong, can it? So, yeah, slicing up my onion, not too small though, because we don't want it to disintegrate. But obviously with a lasagna, once it gets to the heat in the cooker, it obviously disintegrates slightly, so I cut it a little bit larger because I like to have that crunch. Oh, I do love mince. Now, I prefer lamb, to be honest, but when you're doing a lasagna, I have failed on that before because I have used lamb and it's too greasy, so I prefer to go beef in my lasagnas. So, right, so that's nicely going. I'm not going to put these in just yet, because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is just starting my mince, just making sure that it's brown on all sides, although it's going to cook in cooker anyway. I just like to get all them juices all together prior. So, yeah. Got my onion all done. So that's all diced. So there you are, Jess. Just for you. It's done. I've done onion and I haven't bought it, it's diced. So shout out to Louise. So yeah, the frying pan's full of mince, nice and full. It's got. So yeah, Scott likes it full. So yeah, I'm just nicely browning mince. I do love mince. So yeah, that's nicely browning. Now what I tend to like to do in my mince is I like to use, and this is a plug for it, obviously, Henderson. If you want to give me sponsorship, Henderson. Right, so I like to pop that in there, not a right lot, just enough to give it a bit of a je ne sais quoi, as I say. Right, so yeah, mince nicely cooking on a low heat. I also don't know who taught me this, but I think it was me ma. Shout out to ma. Right, so I like to just pop in, because we've got the greases coming from the mince. I pop a little bit of gravy in there just because I love gravy. Northerners love gravy. Right, so that's nicely simmering. Give that a turn, because now that I put the gravy granules in, the juices will nicely mix up and add to the gravy. So yeah, that's nicely on. So yeah, we've got our mince nicely in there, making sure it's all diced small enough so that I can do my layers when it comes to the lasagna itself. So yeah, nicely browning. Disco. Do you like my medallion? No. Yeah. Shout out to Cameron. Right there. Right. Tell you what. If Scott was here now, we'd be eating it out of the frying pan before I even got it there. Oh, sorry, yeah, mate. What did you want me to say? Oh yeah, shout out to Scott. What a fantastic roofing knowledge. be suiting. Right, so that's my mince nicely on with now. It's nicely browning. And as you can see, it's nicely browning. Oh, it's ready now. So there you are. And I'm going to add my onion. Get all that in there. Like I say, it's going to cook when it's in the cooker. But I like to just start it all off so that it's nicely broken down, and then I can do it into my layers. It's easier. Making sure all of the juices are flowing. It's nice and moist. Oh yeah, that's working. Break all of the onion up. Yep. Super smashing, lovely. Oh, Jim Bowen, he was great, wasn't he? Bit of bullseye. Super smashing, lovely. Up to the hockey. Yeah. So yeah, that's all nicely started. So my mince again. I'm going to move to my mushrooms now. Chestnut mushrooms, because I like a bit of taste. I always argue with Scott, because the bigger mushroom, the nicer the taste, more full of flavour. So he goes and buys button ones, but that's Scott. Not difficult. He's the main man. So yeah, mushrooms, dice them up, deal with mushrooms. Got my Andersons in, my onions are in. Nicely simmering away, as you can hear. Oh, sorry, was that doorbell? People, honestly, my neighbours, they can smell it, and that they're all trying to get in on act. Yeah, but they can't. This is for me and the kids today. Although, like I said before, Nicholas won't even touch it because it's not chicken nuggets and it ain't got a waffle by side of it, so forget it. So yeah, just a few more, I think. Just a few more mushies, and then let that simmer. Yeah. So yeah, a wonderful day. Already been to golf. Football tomorrow. Nice England. Warm, sun's out, and yeah, ain't crap. But from a roofing point of view, at least, there's going to be a lot of rain and a lot of leaks until we get there and sort it out. Or rather, the lads, fantastic set of lads. Very lucky, to be honest. And we've got Scott telling us how to do it. Thanks, Scott. So, we're so lucky. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, this is nicely cooking now. Mince is nice and brown. Flavours are just mixing. Onion nicely starting to glaze over. Mushrooms, very tasty. Now, I don't know if you know, but I like garlic. So I'm going to bang just a little bit of garlic in, because you can't beat garlic. The dolmio's going to have garlic in as well, but you can't beat it. And what I do is, health kick wise, I put some turmeric in. I find turmeric's disgusting until you put it with meat, and then it is rather nice. So I'll bang some of that in, and then plug for aromat. It's not fat, it's aromat. So I'm going to bang that in, just a little bit. Right. So all of them flavours nicely going in. Oh yeah, absolutely beautiful. Lots of flavour. Lots of absolutely fantastic aromas coming from this. Oh, full of flavour. I was going to say something then, but I won't. So that's nicely simmering away. Don't need any more mushrooms. They're away, done. Right, that's nicely done. I'm just going to add a little bit more gravy granules to that, just to give it that pizzazz before I bang the tomato sauce in. So I'll just put a little bit, so that all the juices I can use them, and that'll keep it nice and moist. So yeah, juice is working away. Oh yeah. Depending on how many people stop me each street to talk about my fine cuisine, a cookbook will be following. So the more demand I get, the more I want to please my customers and my audience. So just let us know by leaving your comments here, and I'll give you recipes. Right, so I've got all that sorted, that's all done. Now, plug for Dom here, love this stuff, although I'm not a lover of tomato sauce, but it works with lasagna on it, so, God, the muscles are, but I didn't even have to strain them. So, yeah. Now I don't go mad with this, never have. So, I'll put a nice amount around. Just mix that in, so you've got just a tomato aftertaste. Just, I know a lot of it, you're supposed to have a lot of the tomato in a lasagna or a bolognese, but to be honest, if you get the flavours right, then you'll get a hell of a lot of enjoyment from the actual mince itself. So again, I'll put a little bit more than that. So that's perfect. Right. Just make sure that's all in, and then leave it just simmering. Because I want all them flavours. I want all them juices. So yeah, that's all in, done. So yeah, that's all nicely done. Lid back on there. Right. I've got my cheesy mix, so I'm going to get some of my milk. Right. And then I'll get my extra mature cheddar cheese sauce. Now a lot of people don't do this part, but I do because I like it. Right, so read ingredients. I need the easy steps. Stir the sauce in milk in a small saucepan, bring to boil gently. Simmer for a couple of minutes until, yeah, I ain't got a clue what that said. So what I'm going to do is get the saucepan, Tefal. If you want a proper pan, Tefal. Unless you're loaded like my boss and we can just get in and buy the best. For me, that does. Right, so that's pretty much done in that regard. We are going to measure out then, so blah, blah, blah. 300 millilitres of milk. So let's have a look on this. 300 is the deal. We will do it as 300 then. Put that in to my saucepan. I like to do this. I'm going to put loads of cheese and white sauce in, and I like to do it this way. So get that on. Do the wrong one, so that was pointless. Gently simmering, it says. So there you are. Gently simmering. Let's get that milk on boil. All of this is done. Mushrooms in. I've got that. My lasagna The dish is ready. Nice washed. Right, I'm going to place a little bit of basil on mine. A lot of people don't like basil and they won't put it with a lasagna, but I tend to like it, so it's going in. So just a little bit of basil, just to give it that little taste, aftertaste. I'll put a little bit of oregano in, even though I've got basil in it. I'll just put a bit of oregano, and then as that's in the cooker, that'll help the taste. So just a little bit of oregano. Done. Get that out here. Get that mixed in. I know it's just nicely starting. And because I ain't gone mad with the tomato sauce, that is just nice, just nice. If you put too much in, you might as well just, well, it's a bolognese, isn't it? Lasagna, similar. Put it in. So that's on. Mince is nicely going. Milk is just starting. I've got my extra Nichotube cheddar cheese sauce, which I like to just put on into there. Just do this one. I'm going to be doing it slowly. That's already there. Yeah. So that's all nicely on. So yeah, that's all sorted. Milk is on, that's on. I should have the cooker started, but I don't need to. Right, this is pretty much done. I can turn that off. Right, my cheesy sauce is done. Normally I put white sauce in between. Normally I'd use green pasta, but they didn't have any, so I've just got normal. So anyways, that's all ready. I'm waiting for milk. So what I tend to do, like for my lasagna, is not put my moustache in it. Right, so my lasagna dish. Right, that's sorted. Gonna nicely put just a very, very thin layer of mince. Very as thin as I can really get it. Could have done with a smaller dish, to be honest. In fact, do I use a smaller dish? I think I'm actually going to make a smaller dish. So which one shall I use? It's me and Miss, isn't it? So am I going to use this one? Yeah. No, that'd probably just do me on my own. So let's get on with these. Yes, should have thought of this before, Rich, but hey ho. No. Let's do it in one of these. Perfect. Right, so let's change this, get it in there instead. That's always been my problem. I'm always cooking for 15,000 people, but there's only 2 of us eating this. So, well, actually one, because I'll probably eat it before I get to it. So, yeah. Wash that up later. Get this in there, one layer, nice and flat. Oh yeah. Can't wait for this. I do love a lasagna. I do love a lasagna. Always have. Yeah. How many dishes am I gonna fucking use, like, so, yeah. Right. got a dishwasher. So, mince, nicely in. See if I can turn it around so you can see from my wonders. So I've got my mince, flattening it down. Oh, I could just eat that on its own. So yeah, a lot of people will then miss the fact that they've got the milk in. So just nicely get that, nicely stir, and then gently, slowly put in the cheese. So mix. God, I do like the smell. Do it slowly though. Bring that off the boil actually. She's warm. So now just gently, slowly as well, otherwise it's going to get lumpy. It doesn't matter so much when it's in a lasagna and it's cooking in cooker, but yeah, you need to do it slowly and then you don't get great big clumps. So yeah, I like to have a lot of cheese. I do like a lot of cheese in my lasagnas. So, yeah, just gently point it in, give it a stir. Should have used a wooden one really, wooden spoon, but life's never perfect. So yeah, putting all my mix in bit by bit. Oh yeah, right there. Yep. Cheese sauce. Give it a nice stir. A little bit more on that, make sure you got it all out. Right. So that's nice. What I tend to do is put it into a dish like this. Make sure you get it all in. Right? And then I tend to use a whisk and just get it nicely mixed up, which you tend to want to do when you've plugged it in like that. But okay, so we'll take the kettle off, done, and give it a bit of a whisk. Right. Nice cheese sauce. Just to give it that nice flavour. Done. Yeah. And all the way. Right there, done. Right, and I tend to give it just a, well, what I'll do is first is I shall get my spoon or wooden implement, squash it all down. Don't really matter like, but so anyway, that's all nice squashed. Just put a little bit of the cheese over that. It'll move around anyway once it's cooking. So that's done. Then, and what I used to do, and I went wrong with when I was younger, is I used to put too much pasta sheets in. So, to be honest, break off the corners, put one in, doing. That's pretty much nice. Then just put a bit in end so it's got some. Yeah, God, perfect. Right, perfect. There's my first layer. Didn't know Star Wars was here, did you? Layer, Princess of the... No, okay. Right, second, get that in. Oh yeah. So, and then lather it, I'll have a worktop. Oh yeah. So, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So my second layer perfectly going in, looks great. Get that in, get it stirred around. Done. Good. Supposed to be doing this with Nico himself, but yeah, he's on Rocket League. We've got no chance. So yeah, that's done. A bit more of cheese sauce. Oh yeah. So that's going in nicely. I'll put a bit more on this side. This layer. Done. Oh yeah. That's nice. Right. Another slab. Don't pause. Perfect. Right. Give it a squash. Try and get that in half. Perfect. Right, so that's the halves. Put that down. Squeeze. Great. Right, next. Whoa. God, I love mint. Absolutely love mint. I'd have mint in every meal. Especially when it's Aberdeen Angus. Gorgeous. So that's my mint nicely gone in for my next level. Yeah, put that in there. Yep. Right. Perfect. Yeah. So that's all nicely in. Squash it down. Ah, and here's the main man. No, what did I say about not walking that way? Come and say hello.
Hi.
It's Nico, and it is his website, but obviously it's me that does all cooking, and he just plays Rocket League, don't he?
Yeah.
So,
it's because I like to play with my friends.
Yeah, and so are you going to give a shout out to your friends? Who's your friends?
Can you please give a shout out to Ryan, Caden and Jacob?
Right, are they from Rocket League or is that Fortnite?
They're from Rocket League, Fortnite and Roblox.
Right. Yeah, shout out to them. So, anyway, that's one of the lasagna. Will you be having any of this lasagna?
Hey, put your beard back on.
Oh no, that nearly fell into lasagna, so I don't want to taste it nice. So yeah, got all that done. I've got two layers of, I'm going to put one more. One more. So they're in, give it a squash down. Squash that down. Yep.
Look.
Oh, have you got the moustache on? Right. So that's done. Right, and then what I do, and a lot of people probably won't, is I put a little bit on top of my last layer.
Put those glasses on.
You put them on, son.
Okay.
So, last one with mint.
I'm just going to go and see if my friends are on.
Okay. So yeah, we get to see Nico. He is Nico. It is his YouTube site. So thanks very much to all those that are subscribing, because it means the world to Nicholas.
How do I share screens?
He absolutely loves it. I don't think I can do that from in here, can I? So, yeah. Last bit's putting on the top.
Yeah.
So, just getting the last bits. Just making sure that that's covered, although I'm going to be putting a lot of cheese in a minute. So yeah, that is pretty much my last. And that's exactly all of the mince.
I started screen share.
So that's perfect.
Okay, I'll share this.
Right. All of it covered. Yep. And exactly the correct amount of meat, since I've used every lemon pot in house.
I started the screen
But
share.
yeah.
Did you see?
That's nicely done.
I've got this,
That's exactly
and
correct.
I
Done.
only have 4.
So what I'll do, nicely squeeze that down.
Okay. Where shall we go?
Right. Oh yeah, I can't wait to eat this all on my own. Sorry, that's nicely. I'll leave that off. Now what I tend to do before I bang it in cooker is I like cheddar and chilli to go on the top. So I'll bang them on now. I tend to go mad with it because I love cheese. So yeah, try and take these off without them breaking, but it's impossible. So put that on there, stick it down, put that there. Oh, I do love cheese. Although I shouldn't be having cheese with my diet, but you know, you only live once. Nicely done. Cheese. Oh, I do love cheese. Did I say I love cheese? Oh, yeah, that's nicely in. Just separating a few more bits. I love cheese. So that's on. Squeeze that down because that's going to make sure that all of my cheese doesn't fall all over the place. And just as a last resort, because I love cheese. Did I say I love cheese? I love cheese. I just put a bit of cathedral on because I love cheese. Oh, and give that a bit of a press. It comes out in cooker. I don't care. So yeah, my lasagna. Everyone's got their own particular way of doing things and how they prefer it, but this is mine, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite dishes is lasagna, contrary to what people think that I just eat a kebab. I like lasagnas as well. So anyways, that is my lasagna ready to go in the cooker and then scoff it later. So thanks for watching. There'll be another one coming on, and hopefully I'll have my son in that one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you stay subscribed, and see you next time.